All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free to play mystery shard only run through. Now, this video is called Why You Are Failing at Raid Shadow Legends. Now, it's not this isn't like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a title that just gets you to no, this is actually like real reasons why a lot of people, including myself, have been having trouble with this game, and why a lot of people seem to think that you need to have all these legendaries and epics and all these other things to beat things in this game. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. You can do it with pretty much any heroes you want, and as long as you're smart. If you're dumb, then I'm sorry. You might not be able to get through it. No, I'm just kidding. It's really just not even being smart or dumb. It's really just about using the heroes that you have, understanding the heroes that you have, and understanding how the fights work, and really doing some research on things, and also failing hard. Like, that's how I've learned to get better at this game. And I'm not even that great. Like, I'm just playing the game in a terrible way with only mystery shards and only heroes that everyone can use, and I'm getting through it. Is it taking me a long time? Yeah, we're already at a year. We've been playing the game for a year. I don't play this game like it's a job. I don't play it like, I'm trying to beat everything the fastest. There's people out there who probably got Arbiter within the first month. Like, those people exist, and that's fine. It depends on how you want to play. If you're looking to be the best person in Raid Shadow Legends in the first month, it's gonna take you a while. It's take you a lot of money. But if you're like me and you just want to enjoy the game, then yeah, there's ways to beat things, and you don't have to rush. You don't have to do a lot of things, to be honest. I mean, I'll kind of go over that as I tell you guys why you're failing. So we'll start with the easy stuff, and we'll move our way into some of the more complex things. Now, the first thing I would say for new players, remember, this is mostly new players. This isn't necessarily, I mean, and when I say new, I mean first 6 months. There's a lot to learn in the first 6 months, especially when you get into the higher end content. It's definitely something. There's some things that you should probably know. One of them is team composition is your number one friend. So a lot of people will just get a bunch of really solid heroes and think that that's the best team composition. Like, oh, I pulled a bunch of epics and legendaries. I'm just going to put all five of them into a team. And that is the worst thing you can do, because if you're putting the same type of heroes on a team, more than likely your team isn't going to work and synergize correctly. Now, what do I mean by that? So, oh, no, we're not going in here. See, I'm already screwing up. Here's one way you can fail at Raid: not knowing how to use the damn menu buttons. All right, so here we go. So, I have Yannicka. She's a nuker. That's all she does. She really has no other special power, but she's a nuker, right? Let's say we bring her, all right, and then all of a sudden we'll say Elhain. She has zero crowd control, but she's a nuker. So now I'm going to bring her in, all right? Now let's just say we've got Aethel, all right? Now she has some utility, but nothing crazy. She doesn't really stop enemies from attacking you. She just kind of weakens them, and that's it. But she has an AoE attack, so we could use her as a nuker, and that would be fine. Golek, we've got him. We could bring him in, and all of a sudden we have another nuker. And these are all very strong heroes. Let's be clear. They're very strong heroes. They can do the job, all right? And then we'll say Dark Elhain. So there we go. We've got 5 heroes that are really good. Now, let's go. This is just so we can test it. For all I know, remember, my heroes are a little bit stronger, but we'll see how it goes. And some of them do have lifesteal. So we're going to go into Dragon 20, all right? And we're going to do something that you shouldn't do. Now we're going to pick out the same heroes I just said. All right. So all the same heroes. We're going to bring them all in. Aethel, right? We're going to bring. Here we go. These two. So now these are all basically nukers. And we're going to try to keep her in the front because she's got 30% attack in all battles. Now, full disclosure, Kayle has lifesteal. Golek has lifesteal. She has lifesteal. She does not. And she has a leech. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see what a bunch of nukers can do in stage 20. Can they beat it is really the question, right? That's what we want to know, is can they beat it? Is this something we want to do? Now, there's a chance that it's not what you want to do, but we're going to find out, because remember, these guys hit pretty hard. The waves in this are very strong. You don't have anybody speeding you up, all right? And these are, like I said, I've got, an epic, a legendary, and 3 of the starters. I mean, they're all really good heroes. Everybody says, hey, these guys are good. they're gonna, they can really help you out. They can get you through the content. So let's see if they can do it. And that's really the question. Now, as you can see, we're already taking some pretty big hits. There you go. Kale's dead. Now, we don't have anyone to bring him back. So he's dead, and he's not coming back. All right. We will not be bringing him back in this fight. All right. So that's now the first problem that's going to happen. All right. Now we're going to go into the second wave. And remember, these are all level 60 heroes. They're all, they have lifesteal, so you would assume that they would be able to get through these things. You're like, oh, they're cool. Nope, not so much. But this is why you're going to start having problems. Let's say you've pulled a bunch of legendaries that are really good and strong. You're probably going to have the same problem I'm having right now. Literally, your nuker is going to get whacked like that. See? Nothing you can do about it. They are dead. All right? We're not even at the dragon yet, and we're slowly getting our ass handed to us. Yes. Literally, they're picking up our butt, handing it to us, and saying, here, you take it. But the reason we're doing this is because we need to prove a point. And it sucks that we have to wait this long to prove the point. But I think you're starting to see the point is that just because heroes look good on paper, and I'll be honest, every single one of these heroes I would recommend building, like outside of Aethel maybe, but actually I didn't even bring Aethel, so screw her. But outside of, there's no one here. All of them, I would say, are worth you building. And look, we lost. Crazy, right? And we have 3 heroes in lifesteal. We've got awesome nukers. Now, why didn't this work? All right, so why did we fail? It's because we don't have the right team composition. All right, so now we're going to get out of here. Edit team. We're going to pull this team out. Now, we're only going to use rares. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Apothecary. Why are we bringing Apothecary in? Well, if you look at his skill set, and you can go back almost every single one of the heroes I think we're going to be talking about today, I think there's maybe a handful of the heroes that I have right now that I haven't done a champion spotlight on. So if you're interested in any specific hero and how they're built, just go to my playlist for hero spotlights, and you can check out every single one of these heroes in detail. A little more detail, maybe not great detail, but enough detail where you'll know more than what I'm showing you now. So basically, we would bring him in because he does a turn meter up and speed up. He also has a heal that can go critical. He's very fast, and he's got a 3-hitter on his A1, which is somewhat useless in this specific instance, but we're going to use him anyway. We're going to put him in our first slot because, there you go, he increases allied defense. So now we're going to take less damage. That's important in higher areas. Not so much in the lower areas. In the high areas, yes. You want to not die because these guys are going to be hitting you like trucks, all right? Second thing we're going to do, we're going to bring in War Maiden. What's she do? She drops defense, all right? She will do a full defense drop on the entire team, especially if you have her in really high accuracy. She can hit those guys and drop them 60%. So now you're going to do 60% more damage against these heroes because she dropped defense. We're going to bring Kale in. He's going to be our nuker, all right? What he does is he nukes. Exactly what you just saw. Perfect. Then we're going to go and we're going to take Spirit Host. Spirit Host increases your attack, all right? Great hero. Awesome hero. She also removes debuffs, which is going to be great for the boss. All right. And then we're going to bring Valerie in. Valerie can put shields up. She can heal. She's got a reasonable attack, nothing crazy, 1-hitter basically. And then she has an increased attack and increase the duration of all your buffs. So now this team will survive. Now we don't have a Resurrector in here. Remember, normally I would probably take her out and put in Syl. That would be a better recommendation here, obviously. But now we're going to do it with just these rares. And this is the starting 5 team, guys. I mean, I have the video on them. And you're going to see a little bit of a difference in how they function. So essentially, we're going to get more attack ups. The enemies are going to get hit a lot harder, as you can see, just from having that extra hero to drop. And we have shields to make sure we don't get killed while we're doing things. So as you can see, the shields are kind of protecting us. Hopefully we don't die, which she just did. All right. And now you're going to see that they get their butts handed to them. So this is why I was saying that using Syl is actually a better option. All right, because you're going to have a team that's doing a little bit better. You'll probably see how much further they get. And I didn't use these guys for stage 20, by the way. I used this team up until stage 18, okay? We're going to do this one by one so you can see how much different things go. Now, I feel like this team may get to the boss. As is. I don't know if they actually ever won, to be honest. I really don't remember. I just know I never used this specific team to get through stage 20. So this was a toss up to see how things go. Now we still have Valerie for the attack up and removal, but if somebody else dies, like Apothecary, that's a rough one. See, we're still going to die. But they're actually doing a lot better than their last team, which was all nukers. Right? These guys actually may get to the boss if they get enough turns. And if we get some protection. There you go. So he can heal himself back up, which is good. He can kind of get his HP back up so when he gets hit again, he doesn't die. So now we've got an attack up. He's going to break that down. Now the question is, will they beat it? I don't know. There we go. They got through that. And the reason they didn't win here, and they got killed is because you need a resurrector. It's probably one of the most important things you're going to need later on in the game is someone who can either resurrect or protect your team. So either ally protection or something like that. So anything that's going to get you through it. Now I don't know if they're going to make it through. I think they'll probably get to the end. If I had to guess, I don't really know because they don't have apothecary anymore to speed them up, and they're going to be taking damage like monsters now. So if she doesn't get rid of the debuffs with her her removal of debuffs, then it might be a little rough because they're going to do less damage too. Now, even with those deaths, they've already done better, and this is an entire team of rares that can do this. All right, so they're already doing better than whatever that last team did. All right, now I wouldn't bring this team as 20, like I said. It's a good team. But you'd really it's not that this team won't work here. It's that you would really have to build them up a lot stronger than I have. You'd have to get them in all 6-star gear, and that would probably do it. Now, she's dead, so that's a problem. I mean, granted, even the first one dying was a problem. So we're watching this just so you can see the difference of what having a team that has a good functionality can do. Now, this is where they'll probably die. I think this is the shield that they get killed on because it's a really big shield, see? There you go. All right, she got a shield up. Maybe they can do it. I don't know. We'll find out. The suspense is killing me. Well, really, the dragon's killing me. The suspense is just annoying. Who cares about suspense? All right, if you get another shield, we'll see. Oh, there we go. All right, so they won, and we got a nice piece of speed gear. Look at this. Is there speed on it? There is not. Attack, defense, accuracy. I'm not hating on it. It's not terrible. So, what did we learn? Having the correct formation of teams. And surprisingly enough, this team has never got me here. So this is the first time that we're doing this. So when I first got to these fights, I needed Syl to get through it. All right. So that's just to kind of give you my personal progression. But they beat it. They won. It was a terrible win. It took them 3 minutes to do it, which actually isn't terrible, surprisingly enough. Some of my other teams take a lot longer. They take about 4 or 5 minutes, but they don't ever die. So there's that. But yeah, they got through it. All right. And this is just a regular team that anyone can get. Every single one of these heroes, not every single one. She's farmable, she's farmable, she's farmable. So all 3 of them, all the girls. And then Apothecary you have to pull from a shard, which isn't hard. He's only rare. And Kale you get from the beginning. So there you go. Yeah. But that's basically the thing that you want to know is your team composition is super, super important. You have to make sure you're using the right heroes for the job. Now, the problem with what I'm showing you right now is that this situation changes every single time. All right. Every dungeon is a new thing. So you can't expect to beat stage 20 on Dragon. See, we've already beat 20, 25, and we are now into hard. See, so we have gotten here with only pulling mystery shards, so that's nice. So if I can do it with only pulling mystery shards, and I can have the patience to wait a freaking year to do this, then you can do it with the regular heroes that you pull. So don't think you can't is really the question, is really the thing here, okay? But every single time you go into a new dungeon, it changes. The things you need change, all right? Minotaur is a joke. Any team can basically beat this. My main team you just saw is the one that I do it with, and they never die. So this is easy. Minotaur, don't worry about it. All you need is more power, and you'll get through it. Ice Golem is a little bit different. Ice Golem kind of requires some separate things. It needs a little more defense to get through it. I don't know if I actually did a... I think this is the team I use for stage 15 for the clan quest. So Ice Golem, I believe we bring these guys in because they can do... We're not going to do all the dungeons because I'm not going to... I just want you to kind of understand the idea. Dragon was more than enough to get the point across. If I need to revisit one of these dungeons later on because of a point that we're making, then yes, I'll do it. But same thing. We want defense. Syl is a defense hero. What's his name? Drex is a defense hero. And then the other 2 are basically there to keep some shields up and to remove debuffs, keep the defense down off of us, and give us some more defense and keep us alive. All right. So this team works. It's a little bit of a slow fight, but they will get through it. You could conceivably take one of them out and bring in someone like Visix. You could bring in someone. Yeah, okay. You could bring in someone like him just to speed up the fight if you're getting enough defense out of, these guys. Maybe even because attack up doesn't really help you here, but the removal of debuffs is important. So maybe just you could use that to get the debuffs off, or you could use Valerie for shields. Oops, where are we? Here we go. Valerie. Oh, that's my fake Valerie. I forgot that I have extra copies of some of these heroes right now. So yeah, you could bring her in for more defense if you're dying, and that way he can kind of freeze and do some stuff. So yeah, there's things that you have to do for each dungeon. Make sure your team composition makes sense, is really what the point of this is. All right. Definitely a big reason why a lot of people fail. All right. Next reason people fail: gear. All right. Now remember, these are more generalized things. These are not specific. I'm sure there's plenty of things and reasons people fail. Some people are just lazy. There's nothing I can do to change that. So if you're lazy, that's why you're failing. That's not going to be a reason on my list. Okay. That's going to be your own personal thing. You need to look yourself in the mirror. All right. So gear. Now, most of the people and videos that I've seen when I was watching more content creation than making content creation, most of the videos that I saw really focused on stats. They were like, they don't care what the set is. They don't care about the sets. They don't care about that. They just want the stats. And I do agree with that. All right. I think that if you have to choose between a set and stats, I would choose stats. However, that being said, if you can get an extra 120 accuracy because you have sets that work, you should damn well do it. Like that's what you should do. Like you should use sets. All right. There's no reason to not use a set. Now, if we're looking at someone like, where is it? Who's a good one? Who's a good example? We'll go to, I think, Apothecary probably. He's got all speed. Yeah. All right. So if I wasn't using a set here on this character, all right, his speed right now, speed is his most important attribute. So he's at 252 speed. If I wasn't using sets, so if I just threw a bunch of gear on him that had speed on him, all right, this one has speed on it. So we have 17, but we gain 12% speed, all right? That's from 2 pieces. So now this one right here, we would lose 12% speed. All right, from this set, we would lose 12% speed. So now we've lost 24% speed just from taking these 2 out. This one, we gain 10% speed and 40 resist. All right, so we would lose a total of 34% speed and 40 resist if I wasn't using the sets. Sets are a really easy way to kind of manipulate things. So on a hero that needs a lot of resist, like let's say her, we need a lot of resist on her. So you could conceivably, and we have her in lifesteal, so you could conceivably put her in a set that has resist and then just add the stats that you need. If you don't have that, you could put, see how this has like, what is this, 32 resist basically? That's a lot of resist to have on one piece. So if you have pieces like this that are a different set, like say this is like what I'm using now, HP and defense, now I'm gaining 10% HP and defense, and I have my resist set up here. Or, other option, you could use a resist set, get 40 resist from the set, and then try to get defense and HP on your stats. You see what I mean? So I've seen this happen, and a lot of people complain and say things about, nobody ever gives me a real reason or a specific set or a specific this. It's because there's literally no way that any one person could tell you the exact set to use on an exact hero. You'll never be able to recreate something that I do specifically to a T. You're always going to have one stat that's off. It's just too random. All right. So you kind of have to figure out which pieces kind of work with your hero and what stats you're trying to build, and then find gear to match that, and then just try to get your stats in the same realm of things. So like if I show you this hero and I'm showing you in a video and I say, hey, she's got around 28,000, you don't need exactly 28,604 health. All right, that's not what you need. You could do this with 29,000. It's possible to do it 27. It's a little harder, but going higher doesn't matter because you can use her for spider. You just need to make sure that every other hero on your team has higher HP. That's all. So you wouldn't want to bring her in at 20, at 30,000 HP, and then your other heroes have like 31. You would want to boost your other heroes up to like 35 or 40 for fighting the spider, so that way they don't get targeted and she's constantly the tank. So you have to kind of look at each fight separately and really determine which stats work and which stats don't work. Now, my apothecary is my fastest hero, and when you're doing speed heroes, they need to be the fastest one on your team. So he has the fastest speed. Now, I can't give you an exact stat build because what's going to happen here is I was not 252 speed in the beginning. All right. In the beginning, I was 150 speed. I was 180 speed. I don't know where your account is. There's way too many variables that go into, kind of deciding what's going to happen with your gear. So if you are at the point where your apothecary is 180 speed, I'm not going to tell you to make sure that all of your damage dealers have 250 speed because it's not going to work. All right. You want him to be the fastest because he's the one who does the turn meter boost. All right. You want him to go first. He always should go first. Apothecary is first. And then you would bring your defense down hero or your attack up hero, up. So now as you see, my attack up hero right here, she's the second fastest, which I actually just recently fixed. All right. She was down around 206 to 220, I believe. And she's at 244 now. So now she's my second fastest. So now I'm going to move into War Maiden, who doesn't have very fast speed right now. She's at 190. I now can build her an extra almost 50 speed because I fixed Apothecary and I fixed Spirit Host. So now I can put on a speed boot. See, right now I don't think she has one. Yeah, right now she has attack. So we can find now a speed boot and put it on her, and now she will go fast also. And then we move into Kale, who's really low, as you can see, because he has to be lower than her. Say, so he's at 183. So he's 7 speed less than her. So essentially, we would build her up to about 235, 40, and then build him up to like 230, and that would be fine. All right. You can get really close, but I've noticed that a lot of times, especially with Kale, he can speed himself up, which kind of screws up the rotation sometimes. So you want to make sure that you don't get him too close to War Maiden or to Spirit Host, but all in all, I don't think it's going to really hurt you having a faster hero. It's just going to make it so they don't get their attack up, and which could in the long run hurt you. So just make sure that they're always working, even with their speed ups and their skills. Every hero is going to be a little different. Just make sure that the speed works and that everybody's doing the right thing. You don't want Kale nuking before defense down and attack up goes up. That's how every team should work. And once you start building teams correctly, you're going to do that. Now, I don't focus that too much right now because I haven't been team building specific areas yet. I've just been building to get through this content. Eventually, if I'm doing a farm team, I'm going to want to fine tune them and speed tune the entire team. Right now, I'm just kind of using heroes as I build them. All right. But my main team is completely speed tuned, and that's why they work so well. All right. So definitely focus on gear. Make sure you're putting the correct stats on. All right. You should get crit rate on every single one of your damage dealers. Every single one. I mean, there's probably a few exceptions. However, crit rate. Crit rate, crit rate, crit rate. You want them to always crit. They should have 100% crit on almost every hero, unless they have skills like Kale, where he's, like I said, he's at 80 right now. I have him close. No, is it 80? Sorry, he has, about 80 something. He has a 15% extra crit rate, so he can be built at 85, and he's fine. Eventually, once you get into 5 and 6 star gear, where you can get pieces of gear like, say, this, see, 20% crit rate. This has 13%. You're going to see that you're going to have gear that you can put on a hero that just kind of makes up for it. And then you put crit damage on the glove. And then all of a sudden, now you've got a nuker that's got 178 to 250 crit damage, and they're doing insane damage. You're going to notice a huge difference once you finally get to that point. But in the beginning, crit rate is more important because you want them to always crit because then you do more damage all the time rather than having crit damage on a hero and they've got like a 15% crit rate and then they don't do any freaking damage. All right. Big problem. Other thing with stats to know, resistance, super important for certain fights. All right. Resistance is very important in things like arena because you're going to get stunned, you're going to get slapped, everything's going to get slapped on you. So resistance is usually pretty important in the arena on any hero you use. Accuracy, very important. You're going to be up against heroes that have tons of resistance, so you need more accuracy. There's plenty of teams out there in the arena that I fight that I cannot beat because I just don't have the resistance. Like I just can't beat them. They will win. My accuracy is not low, not high enough. They have insane resist. You're going to come up against a stupid that void hero that can do unkillable. And if his resist is like 600, you're literally never going to kill him because you won't be able to remove the debuff or get through it. So you got to make sure that you have high accuracy on the heroes that can do things like remove buffs or turn meter manipulation or defense down. They should be high accuracy. Resistance should be on heroes like your tanks, especially in PvE. All right. They're going to be getting hit all the time. You have someone like Drex who's going to get hit in the spider. You want him to have high resist. If he's got 20 poisons on him, he's going to die. That's just how it works. I mean, even if he's the strongest built hero ever, you need to be able to dodge those poisons. So you want to make sure that even just to get through PvE, that your tanks have high resist, high HP, high defense. All right. Now, your support heroes mainly should be speed and defense, essentially. You want them to basically not get stunned, see, high resist. Accuracy depends on the hero. Most healers probably just heal and do speed up and all that stuff, so they don't need accuracy. So I wouldn't focus on accuracy. Focus on resist so they don't get stunned, because if they're stunned, they're not healing. All right, that's a big deal. All right. Speed is the most important thing, and you want to get their defense as high as possible. So this is my best healer, would be Apothecary, essentially. Like, at least specific healer. And he's got reasonably high defense and reasonable HP. All right. So you want to build them to not die and be fast as hell. That's really what you need from your speed up heroes. Now, this is going to change. Every hero is going to be a little different. As you can see, like Jizzo, for instance, he's my boy. All right. He's got 250 resist because we don't want him getting stunned and provoked in Scarab King. So we got him in some resist, so at least he can dodge once in a while. Crit rate and crit damage not super important, but because we're using him as an attack hero, not a provoker, it's a little more important. Normally, you would build Jizzo with high accuracy because of his provoke. All right. However, once again, this is one of those situations where I didn't build Jizzo the same way that other people build him. There's no one way to build Jizzo. You could build him in insane accuracy, use him for Magma Dragon more. He can provoke in there, or you can use him to provoke in Arena. You could do a lot of things with him. You could build him super, super, super defensive with zero of anything else, and just make it so he doesn't take damage. That's something you could do too. I feel like having him as a mixed bag works a little better, because he can do more damage. He can get the crit off. He can still do provoke sometimes because his accuracy is reasonable. He doesn't get taken down too much because his resist is high. Because we're not talking about end game here. We're not talking like, oh, you should have 500 resist and all 6-star gear and come to the party. We'll have a few lifts. It's die hard. We're not talking about that. We're talking about early mid game. All right, that's what we're talking about. Why you're failing to get through. Because once you start understanding these things, I feel like you'll get through the game a little bit easier. Don't focus on like legendaries. All right. Syl is one you're going to get in 6 months. You're going to get heroes like, who do you get in the beginning? You've got Arctic, who's brand new. Just know, when you build a hero like Arctic, all right, we're going to go in Index. I have him in my vault because I don't use him. I don't use the bro. All right. Arctic, here we go. So you're going to get this guy. Now, should you build him right in the beginning? I mean, it doesn't hurt. It can't hurt you to build him. Just know that legendaries take a lot more time. They take a lot more resources. You're not going to probably level all their skills up. And honestly, if I had to choose between Syl or Artak, I would 100% choose Syl. That's my personal opinion. I'm sure there's people out there who think Artak is an amazing hero, and he is an amazing hero, but I don't think he's better than Syl. I don't think he would help me more than Syl. I don't think he is better than Syl. But everyone's going to have their own thing. You might have a healer that's amazing. You might have, like, who's the other one? Siphi or what's that? Rector. You might have some people who can do resurrection and healing that I don't have. But that's why Syl's so important to me, because I can't get those heroes. All right, we only do mystery shards, so I'll never have those heroes. So for me, Arctic doesn't have as much value because I have Drex, I have Akoth. All right, I know that those heroes are coming, so you could get those heroes, and then you don't need Arctic. However, he's great because you get him right in the beginning. So you're the one that's going to have to decide which heroes you invest in. If you think that he's worth investing in booking, then that's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. And my personal opinion has always been, you pick the heroes you like. And if you're having fun with the hero, then build them. I mean, that's up to you. But if you want to get through the game, be careful who you book is really a big thing. It's one of the biggest things that people do to fail in this game is they waste legendary and epic books. And it's why I'm so adamant about the starting 5 video that I made about picking those guys, regardless of whether or not you're pay to win or not pay to win. And I don't even know if pay to win is the right thing to say. It's probably more like if you spend money on a game. So I wouldn't put too much effort into booking out epics and legendaries in your first, honestly, 2 or 3 months until you understand the game. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can go watch my starting 5 video. It's in the playlist under Hero Spotlight. And watch that, and you'll see how I built basically Spirit Host and the whole team I just showed you basically in Dragon 20. And why I built them the way I did, how they synergize, how they work in dungeons, things like that. And the reason that's so good is because it teaches you how to build heroes. It teaches you how you should do things, what you shouldn't do with a hero, what stats you shouldn't put on which hero. Because if you can make that team work, and that's not even just following my tutorial, that's literally just you take those 5 heroes and you build them and you make them a good team that can beat up to like stage 15 in dungeons. If you can do that, you'll start to understand why heroes are good and why certain heroes work better than others, regardless of what rarity they are. And then I would say you could start building some of your epics. And once you build your epics up, then you should understand the game by then, and then start putting books into legendaries. I would not put one single book into any legendary in this game until you feel that you understand the game better. Because you're gonna be upset later on when you get like one legendary book every week or two. And you're gonna be like, all right, so this guy needs 15 books and I have 2. So there you go. You're gonna be screwed. Save your books for heroes that matter. Save your books for the ones that need the books. All right. That's a really big thing that I could say would really help you out. But if you want to build Arctic, what I would recommend is you level them up, get them to 60. Just remember, like I said, it takes a lot longer to get the potions to ascend these guys. It's a lot more rare to get their blessings. Everything for them takes a lot more. All right. So if you're looking to build him, just know it might take you 3 to 4 times the amount of time to get the potions you need to max him out than it would a regular hero. That could probably get you through the beginning of the game a lot quicker than he will. But he's not bad. And if you do build him, he's going to work for you. You'll probably get early game kills in Spider. You'll probably do a lot better in that. You'll get through like probably up to 15 a lot quicker. And possibly up to 20, depending on which heroes you use and which ones you pull. But yeah, he'll definitely make Spider a lot easier. He definitely will make a lot of dungeons a lot easier. His skill set is very good for lighting things on fire, staying alive, especially in lifesteal or some kind of a regen. So don't think I'm telling you he's bad. I'm just telling you be careful who you book. That's all I'm saying. Use him. You don't have to book him. Get him up to 60, and he'll probably do just as well for you. Especially early game, he's going to be better than probably half the heroes that you're going to find in the beginning anyway. Um, so yeah, that's a big thing. Speed is another thing. We kind of covered it already. However, I'm going to cover it again, but sort of in a different light. So basically, speed. So we already talked about how speed is important to make sure your heroes are going in the correct order. What we didn't talk about is that speed could be the reason that you're dying. So in higher end dungeons, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be fights where if your heroes are all speed tuned, let's say you speed tuned the whole team, but your best hero is like 180, you may not be able to beat some of the dungeons. And the reason is you're not fast enough. All right. If you need to be on par with the content that you're fighting. So in the beginning, 1 to 15, you might be able to weasel your way through it with 180 speed. That's fine. When you start getting into the 20s and higher, that's why, as you can see, I'm starting to build my heroes faster, is because it needs it. Like I need my heroes to be over 200 speed now to be able to beat things because they need to get more turns. Every time you're faster, it could mean another turn before somebody gets a really big attack off. It could mean that you get another turn meter reduction from High Katoon. It could mean you get another stun from Archmage because he's faster. It could mean another provoke from Drex. It could mean another heal or revive from Syl. It could mean another freeze from Yakar. Like every time you increase their speed, like this is my newest hero that I just built from the legendaries, and this is my first build on him, and we've got him at 216% crit and 219 speed. So he's already faster and stronger than most of my heroes. All right, and that's because I learned how to build them. So when I first put gear on him, I made sure that he had at least reasonable stats. This is still his first gear set that we put on him. He's built really well. He's awesome for the arena, but we built him correctly from the beginning now. All right. So as you move forward, you're going to figure out that it's a lot easier to build these heroes. I mean, look at his accuracy. His accuracy is over 200. It's about 200 now because we put him in these sets. See, we got 40 accuracy here, 40 accuracy here, 40 accuracy. Oh, sorry, 80 total. I don't want to jump ahead. So that's 80 accuracy. If I put another 2 accuracy pieces on it, then it would be 120. So just that gives me 80 accuracy. So if I didn't have those sets, boom, immediately I'd have 120 accuracy. I'd be landing no freezes. No freezes. No freezes. So, yeah, speed. If you're failing at things and you're built correctly, speed could be the reason that you're failing at something. So don't think that that's something that is just you can push by. It's like, oh, but my whole team is speed tuned. It's like doesn't matter if you're speed tuned. You're not fast enough. If you're speed tuned and it's still not working, you're gonna have to go faster. Go fast. Gotta go faster. Yeah, like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Um, so yeah, something to think about. The other thing is blessings. They help. All right, they do help. You're gonna want to get blessings on most of your heroes. 2-star is really where you start to get the real worth out of a blessing. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you don't see any value until it's full. Like, yeah, that's if you're like the highest end player. You will see real fixing, real change in your hero at 2-star. 1-star, you might see a little bit, especially if you're using Phantom Touch, all right? Because they've got, he's got Phantom Touch on him right now. But why is that? Why do I say 2-star? Here's why I say 2-star. So we go here, we go to Kale, and we're gonna go to his blessing. Boom. So now look at this. So at the 1-star, he gets a 15% chance of inflicting bonus damage. This is really good, all right, for bosses, for clan boss, all of that. So you're going to want to make sure that you definitely have at least 1-star on your clan boss heroes in the beginning because it's going to give you a 15% chance of doing bonus damage every time you hit. Perfect. At 2-star, you get 300 attack. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. 300 attack is a huge bonus. You're going to start seeing some major shifts in your damage dealers. And then now you've got 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage at 3. So 3 is the goal, obviously. You get a little more crit damage at 4, whatever. But you're really going to start seeing a change at 2-star because you're going to get a bonus stat and you're going to get your extra chance of whatever it is that the blessing does. So 2-star is really where you want most of your damage dealers, but getting that 1-star is very important because just the 1-star gives you the bonus and gives you a nice boost to your power too. So it's going to help you out early on. So don't make the mistake of not doing the dungeon. I wouldn't buy keys to do Iron Twins, but I always farm. I farm stage 3. What did I do? I was like, what did I just do? Hit the wrong button. I farm it at stage 3 every day. That's it. Literally, that's all I do. I go in here. I don't have keys. I'm not buying them. I farm this. As you can see, my keys are empty. I just farm stage 3 every single day. It takes 51 seconds to run, so it takes me a total of maybe 6 minutes to do this. And I just get these coins, and then I go about my day. Save those coins. Go into the shop. Buy your blessings for the heroes that you currently own. Don't go crazy trying to buy heroes that you may or may not have later on. All right. Buy the ones that you currently own. Go into Mystic Market, spend your money on these coins here, go into Soul Merchant, and just hope that one pops up. I could buy her, but I hate her. I actually should buy her, to be honest, because I'm trying to do a video on all the login heroes, and unfortunately, she's a freaking login hero. I don't want to build her. She's the last one I haven't built. So, yeah. I might have to just do it. I might have to do it. We may have to just sell a couple heroes and buy her. I think we're going to do that. Let's do it now on stream, just so you can on a video. Let's see. Who do we want to sell? Who do we not care about? We only need 10 coins anyway, and it's here. We don't care about him. There we go. I don't care. What is this guy? Seducer? Is that his name? We don't care about him. Sell. All right. So there. Now we can buy the coin. Merchant. This is what I do. I just go in here. I buy these. Buy. And then I go, not Soul Collection, we go into Mystic Market, no, Soul Merchant, and then I buy the hero I need. So I have her, we buy her, and then we awaken her. See? Boom, there she is, Awaken Taintix. There we go. We finally got another login hero with a blessing, all right? And that's it. You just buy the ones for the heroes you need, and that's what I do all the time. I save up my coins, I buy more coins. I don't ever save my coins and buy these stones. I don't ever buy any of these, literally never, but that's me. Take it as you will, but that's my advice. All right. That's what I would tell you to do. I don't recommend you do anything else. So get out of here. Boom. Get out of there. All right. So now we're getting Polarium points. All right. So why else would you be failing in this game? I would say rushing. This is probably the most important thing I could tell you guys as a player of over a year now, is that this game it's not a sprint. It's not even close to a sprint. It is a marathon. All right. You are going to be spending a lot of time. There's a lot of things you have to do daily to get heroes. I mean, you're going to have to spend 100 days to get Drex from the tag team. You're going to have to spend weeks and weeks. What is it? You get five fragments, I think, from the clan shop per week if you're lucky. All right. So now 5 times that's 20. So that's 4 months at least to get a hero from that shop. Yakarl took longer because he's 150. So I just got Yakarl about 2 months ago, a month ago. So yeah, it took me like 10 months. The things in this game take long. Still takes 6 months to get. I mean, just look at the login champs. All right. You have to wait 9 months to get the final hero in here. All right. You have to wait another 4 months after getting her to get Cleo. All right. Things happen very slowly in this game. There's no reason to rush. All right. No one is checking your progress. I mean, granted, people are checking my progress because they're watching, but like no one's looking at your progress. All right. No one is really upset at you because you can't beat the spider boss. No one is mad at you because you didn't make number one. And, it's the only people that might be mad are jerk people in guilds. So if you're in that guild or clan, just get out of that clan because they're a bunch of asses. But join a clan that's nice. Don't join one of these clans that's like super hardcore, like unless that's what you are. If you are, then yeah, if you want to compete at that level and you want to, get yelled at for not getting a certain amount of points, then yes, join that clan if you're competitive like that. 100% do it. But if you're just an average player, stay out of those clans because you're just going to frustrate yourself and you're going to end up quitting because you're going to be like, I can't get 100,000 points. It's like it's a lot of time to get those points. All right, unless you happen to have a lot of things saved up and you summon a bunch of legendaries, you're going to have a hard time hitting those numbers. So focus on you and what you need to do, and that's it. All right. You don't need to beat anything. You beat it at your own leisure. All right. I had someone comment on my videos a while back when I first started blowing up from my first big video. Like I had 13 subscribers and I jumped to like 200, I think, in like a month. And I had gotten and someone had commented something about like, he's like, you're giving terrible advice because you're like level 70 and you're leveling trash heroes. And I was like, well, first of all, you didn't read the description. I'm like, I'm telling you that I'm literally the whole point of this is I'm leveling trash heroes. So that's the first thing. But it took me a long time because I'm not in any rush. Like, I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care if this takes me 3 years, 4 years. Like, I enjoy making content for you guys. I enjoy looking at the heroes. I have all my trash champs in here. Say my reserve vault. This is my trash champ vault, as they say. These are all the heroes I'm going to be building, and eventually you're going to see a level 60 on every single one of these. All right, we're already working our way towards another 2 level 60s. Um, we got Templar done. We got everyone's favorite guy. We got Yaga up to 60, and he's all maxed out now. So we're going to slowly be getting into these heroes one by one every single week. I'm leveling Headhunter now, and this lady from the campaign. We're gonna get Taintix that you just saw me throw a thing on her. You're gonna see me get her to 50 probably soon. I may do that today, to be honest. I might get her to 50, and then I'm gonna do a video on literally every single login hero. So don't think that you have to rush to do this game. All right, play at your own pace. Make sure you're leveling. All right. Last thing I think for right now, because I mean I can make a part two of this if I really want to, because there's 100 different things that somebody could do to screw up their account. But I don't think there's anything you can do to ruin your account unless you like have Ninja and feed him. That would be ruining your account because you'll never get him again. But other than stuff like that, there's really no way to ruin your account. There's just ways to slow your progress, and that's kind of what this is about. I would say the number one thing to focus on for new players, if you are looking at your champion vault and you only have level 50s and you have like 10 to 15 heroes that are all level 50, you're playing wrong. And that's not that's not a I would say that's an objective truth, not a subjective truth. You need to have in the beginning at least one solid team of level 60s, all right? The difference in power between 50 and 60 is phenomenal. It unlocks your last area, your last accessory, which lets you get all your gear hooked up, all right? It lets you get your last ascension, and the power creep from 50 to 60 is a lot. All right. You're going to get a lot more power, HP, defense. These are the things that are going to keep you alive. So if you have a bunch of level 50s and you think that that's the best route, don't do that. Get your first team together. Like I said, watch my starting five video. They're a great five to pick. But whoever it is, get your defense down hero, get your attack up hero, get a turn meter specialist. If you want to use Deacon, you can use Deacon. If you want to use Arctic as your freaking nuker, then go ahead, use them as your nuker. Like whatever it is you want to pick, get those heroes to 60 first and then start branching out. That's the best advice I could give any hero. All of you are heroes. It's the best advice I could give anyone who's playing this game from the start and doesn't really understand it too well. You can do more in this game in the beginning of it with one level 60 maxed out with all level 16 gear and masteries than you can do with a bunch of level 50s. All right, you will get much further. One hero can do more than 5 heroes. All right, so don't think that in the beginning you should have a ton of heroes that are 50. You shouldn't. All right, that's something you do later on when you're trying to do faction wars and you're branching out into secret rooms in Doom Tower. Like that's for later. Focus 5 heroes in the beginning. Don't do anything else. All right, that's your main focus in the beginning. Should be that and leveling up your gear and getting your masteries. Um, my personal opinion is you should buy your starter heroes masteries in the beginning, but some people don't agree with that. I bought masteries for my first 4 heroes because those are the 4 heroes I used to farm the masteries for the last heroes. And now I just farm masteries with the 4 heroes, and there you go. I don't have to buy masteries anymore unless I want to. I think total I've probably bought about, I don't know, maybe. And when I say bought, I mean I use gems. I didn't mean real money. Uh, Probably somewhere around 8 to 10 heroes, honestly, that I bought their masteries for with gems. Um, we definitely did. I think we may have farmed Syl. I definitely bought Yakarl. I think I bought another one like Drex. I might have bought. Jizzo we bought. That's 3. I bought the original 4, so that's 7. And then I'm sure there's a couple extra ones in here that I bought because I was just too lazy to farm them and I had a lot of gems. That's the good news about having these gems. I don't need to use them on summoning. So every time you use your 900 gems to summon a bunch of trash heroes, that's basically when I use that to get a mastery full on a hero and save myself, 2 or 3 days of farming because that's about how fast it takes now. I can do it pretty quickly now. But yeah, that's basically this. Some reasons why you might fail at Raid Shadow Legends. All right, uh, just take your time. There's plenty of content creators out there. Don't think that any one content creator is correct and that any one content creator is going to make you win. All right. Uh, Everybody has something else to bring to the table. I'm not the one to go to for clan boss damage. I suck at it. I mean, we're doing Nightmare and I don't do badly. I get my keys every day. I do it and I get my rewards. I'm not a clan boss person. You would go to someone else who knows clan bosses and can understand the inner workings of how to build unkillable teams and things like that, and two to one teams and all that, and they know all that jargon. I don't know that stuff. I know how to beat things with really trash heroes. That's what I know how to do. All right, so I'm the one you go to for that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's plenty of other people out there that have a lot of vast knowledge that have been playing for a while. They understand how stats work. They understand how building a team works. There's plenty of people, content creators out there that know those things. So don't just stick yourself to one content creator. Check out a bunch of different ones. You never know when you're going to find a gem and find something that you can kind of help you get through something. All right. So really, that's it for today. If you guys have any comments, questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I believe in community, so just because I don't answer, or if I actually pretty much almost always answer unless I miss it, or I'll at least put a like on it if it's not something that I can answer. If you're just like, I love chicken, like it's great. I love chicken too. I'll press a like. I'm probably not going to comment on that, but yeah. Anything else? Talk. Feel free. You guys are the part of the community as much as I am, so you guys can definitely do that stuff. Leave comments, give your strategies, how you beat things that can help new players. That's really what this channel is about, is really helping newer players and people who just want to play free to play and figure out ways to get through bosses with just weird ass heroes. Okay. Um, there's definitely other stuff we could go over today, but maybe I'll make a second video about that stuff, like basically like hero reduction and things like that. Fun things. Status effects are a fun thing to talk about. All right, so this is a bunch of ways that you can fail playing Raid Shadow Legends. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.